Hello there and thanks for joining us. We're down at Illawarra Park in Campbelltown for a history-making match. It's the first National Panasonic to come to the satellite city, and it's the first night television match ever to be played at the beautiful Illawarra Park, and a huge crowd has turned out. They're both inside and outside the ground. The people outside, of course, may well miss the first quarter, so many of them are there. Looking at the Parramatta team, Mark Laurie is in the centres tonight, the position that he handled so well with players in England last year. He's there for a different reason tonight, because Michael Cronin is sidelined, and of course it was Laurie with whom Cronin came in contact at Cessnock about 4 weeks ago. His centre partner, Brian Jackson, he will not let the team down. He was absolutely brilliant in a lower grade grand final against Saints last September. Terry Leabeater is a new look front rower for the Parramatta team. He's a veteran by rugby league standards, came from the Magpies, but John Money tells me that Leabeater has been easily his most impressive prop in the trials thus far. Money, of course, is still the coach. Illawarra have made 2 sackings. At the back of the scrum, Upfield comes in, and the number 10 will be worn by Worthington, while Seamus O'Connell, a former Eastern Suburbs player, comes into the front row position, taking the place of young Greenland, whilst in the centres, Stan Brown comes in for Brian Hetherington. Neil Hunt will kick off. He'll also take the goal kicking for Parramatta. So we're off and running now before a crowd of around 11,000 at Illawarra Park. Very little breeze blowing as Taylor goes across and takes it, but that little fumble by Taylor left him open for Seamus O'Connell to make a fairly heavy tackle. Here comes Growth. 4 of them going in to make the tackle.
Well, that's a traditional start for four-quarter football. The ball was returned from the kick-off, a good chase by Illawarra. They're going to try and put a lot of pressure on Parramatta in these opening minutes of the match.
Stan Jerd is tackled 10 metres on his side of the halfway, and here's the first penalty coming. It's against the Steelers captain Michael Carberry for a swinging arm in the tackle on Stan Jerd. Moment. This is Price. Big run by Price, but concentrated defence there by Seamus O'Connell. Stan Brown was over the top, and the same 2 players put tackles back to back. Mosley plays it. Leabeater making a gain of about 10 metres. He was able to actually run to the defence. Short passing, and Wynn ran right onto the shoulder of a corker of a tackle.
That was a great tackle by Peter Smith. He stopped Wynn in his tracks.
So it's Illawarra coming up with some free ball, and there's the tackle. Look at that! And now it's with Mackie. He puts up the kick, and there's a bit of panic here for Parramatta. They're going to let it bounce. Taylor's got the ball, tackled by Hardy. That's a brave piece of football by Taylor, but Gross now got the problem of trying to stay in the field of play. There's the kick by little Greg Mackie. It was a good kick. And then Parramatta let it bounce, and that's danger. That's flirting with it. And here's another exhibition. Well, you didn't quite see that, but you would have well seen it on the first replay when Taylor decided to give it to Growth on his own try line. Not so sure I agree with that play there by Parramatta. It worked for them. Jerd to play it now, outside his 22.
Well, it's something that I wouldn't like to see either in a team that I was coaching, but I suppose if you're going to give the ball to anyone in those circumstances, Eric Growth's the man.
Here's Hunt. Hunt with that big step off the right foot. And here's Sterling chipping across the top to try and break up this keen defence. And Mackie it is who's tackled a few metres on his side of the halfway. Stan Brown, he too formerly played with Souths, as did Mackie, as did McPherson.
As did Peter Smith.
And as did Peter Smith. So there's been plenty of South Sydney Illawarra exchanges down through the years. And the big man is away. Growth running onto the ball is Mark Laurie. Back inside it goes. And that's Brett Kenny backing up. Kenny's gone down to the 10-metre line. Throws the pass. And it's into touch. And they're 12 metres out. See how they work their way to the middle of the ground. And now they'll attack on both sides of the ruck, or they have the choice thereof. Wynn running very close to Price again. And he's tackled and plays it 12 metres out. They work the blind again. Sterling holding it back. A little ball for Kenny. Kenny is tempted to throw it out the back door, but doesn't. 3 metres away from the line. The big pass is on, I would think. No, he's gone for the stabbing grubber kick, and Illawarra has turned it back for 6 more tackles for the Eels. Well, that's a mistake that I don't know that the Steelers can hold Parramatta out for again as it comes across to Sharp. He gets it back to Sterling. Sterling jinks and gets inside. Hunt has to juggle. They've lost ground. He's about 18 metres out. Over to Jackson. Jackson dummies to Laurie. Cuts inside. Swerves outside. The ball bounces badly for Hunt and it's a knock-on.
There you saw Parramatta at their very best. They put Illawarra under constant pressure and it looked really that Parramatta could have scored at any time.
In Lismore next Wednesday, Canterbury Bankstown versus South Sydney. What a great match to take to the people in the Rivers territory. The Northern Rivers people, they flock to their football, and next Wednesday will be no exception. Good run by the dummy half for Illawarra. McIndoe, can he get the ball away? It's still in play. Worthington put it over the touchline. I don't know what Worthington thought he was doing here, but this ball comes away from McIndoe, the winger. It's a good run on the Foster's Lager replay. It's Lee Beater. 10 metres into Steelers territory. Jerd. So the big men have taken it ahead. Now it should go wide. One more to the blind side for Mosley from dummy half. 5 tackles gone. Sterling, the playmaker, but Wynn has gone away from dummy half. Growth came bursting through. Lee Beater's got the ball away through Taylor. Then Sterling gets his kick in. Stopped like a 9-iron. Illawarra, yeah, they've got it. They've got it now. But there were some anxious moments in goal. There's the kick from Sterling. It hit and stopped. And I thought for a moment Kelly had lost it, but he never, ever lost the ball. So everything was okay in the backyard of Illawarra as they take the line drop out. I just fancy Peter Wynn didn't realise what the tackle count was then. I think he took it one play too far. This is Hunt. Hunt getting through some fragile stuff. Mosley turning it back in for Sharp. Wynn. 18 metres from the line. Illawarra have been under pressure since the second quarter started. Sterling a run around on Price, and Price it is who's tackled. Almost in front of the uprights. Sterling back in from Mosley. It went behind him. Up goes the kick. Looks too deep for mine. Oh, he let it bounce in goal. It's a try. That's unforgivable. Stan Jerd. Stan the man has scored the try. This fullback has let this ball bounce. Sure, it looked like it was going to be too deep, but you can't take the risk. You've got to get it out of the kitchen. It's too hot in there. And look at this. And here comes Jerd minding his own business, scoring a try.
Under the new rules, Kelly would have been entitled to start the play with a tap from the quarter line anyhow, so he should not have taken the punt in any way, shape or form. Maybe he lost the ball in the lights, but we can see here the ball bounces, and the football, the shape it is, you never know where it's going. Back it goes to Stan Jerd, and he crosses for the 4 points.
Stan Jerd, the try scorer. They don't come often for Stan, but he loves them when they do. Conversion successful from Neil Hunt, 6 points to 0 in favour of Parramatta. But Kenny's been running so wide that Hardy really has found himself running out of somebody to chase. So we haven't seen anything really of the Illawarra 5-8. This kick is down to Sterling. He'll call on Growth to do something. Here comes Growth. Bang! There goes one. There goes another one. Talk about a man with the ability to bring the crowd to their feet. This fellow, Growth. Oh,
I think there are many opposition players that are glad that Mrs. Growth didn't have twins.
Michael Bolt, now Mackie, this is Smith, and they've lost the ball. Price comes up with it, immediately on his feet, and he takes another 5 metres of ground with him. To the left for Sterling, now to Kenny. Cut out ball, Jackson ran onto it perfectly. He left that ball a little bit late. No, he didn't. Not according to Eric Growth, he didn't anyway, and Growth is in to score. Growth scores the try. I think when you see it on the replay, you'll probably agree that my first comment was maybe the right one. When young Jackson hit onto this pass by Kenny, he's got players left and right, but he holds on, and then he gets it to Growth. And then Growth says, I'll get you out of this pickle, young man. Watch this. Crash, and he goes to score. Here's the Foster's Lager replay.
A beautiful ball here by Brett Kenny. Threw it into the hole, and Brian Johnson angled back into that gap. He was able to take the pass. He was caught in a tackle by Carberry, but popped it up to Growth. And have a look at Growth's balance here. He drops the shoulder. He's able to get his legs out of the way of Kevin Kelly and go across for a tremendous wing three-quarters try.
Here's Hunt. Oh, I don't like that, Neil. You don't like it, neither do I, he said. Parramatta leading Illawarra by 10 points to 0. You're watching the National Panasonic on a Wednesday. So it's Illawarra with the ball, and a good run by McIndoe again. He's got plenty of speed, this fellow. It's his second long run. Smith. Taylor down injured at the moment. He got a smack in the face, apparently. This is Carberry. 6 more tackles, says the referee. Play just inside the 22 line. This is Mackie cutting out one, finding Hardy. He holds Jackson at bay, gets it away to Mannix. Taylor back on his feet. Out from dummy half goes Brown. That's Seamus O'Connell, the number 11 with the headband. They're only 8 metres from the Parramatta line. Michael Bolt back in the top grade. Last time we saw Illawarra, he was being kept in reserves. From Worthington to Mackie. Carberry's about a metre from the line, but the Eels defence holds tight. That's the turnover. Parramatta coming up with a scrum. Kenny to Laurie, a bad ball, and then Taylor looked to me as though he'd overrun it, and the ball lost by Taylor. The scrum will barely have time to pack. In fact, there's the siren now. Referee Graham West acknowledges that. Taylor with a bit of blood on that right eye. Parramatta going to the half-time break, leading by 10 points to 0 over Illawarra. This is Mannix playing the ball after the charge down. Here's Mackie. Carberry coming onto it much better that time, more strongly.
Well, their whole set of backs is a lot deeper in this set of tackles.
Hardy. Mackie. He's a light stepper, Mackie. Hardy's with the ball, and he'll play it about 20 metres out. Carberry. 10 metres from the line. This is Worthington. That's a penalty. Peter Wynn was never onside. 2 metres from the line, the Steelers desperately trying to pick up their first points. Here's the replacement in jumper number 17. It's Crossland. Worthington across to Kelly. A cut-out ball. It seemed to touch the Eels. It doesn't matter anyway, because upfield, Paul Upfield, the lock forward, has scored. Wide out. So Parramatta has been broken by the Steelers as this ball went along, and it did touch Laurie's arm. And Upfield picked it up and went into that corner. Here's the Foster's Lager replay.
Illawarra had the numbers here. Laurie put his hand to the ball going for the intercept, wasn't able to hold it. It went on to Upfield. He scooped it up and crossed for a very important Illawarra try.
Harrison's kick has got plenty of height, and it's just wide as we see the scoreline remain at 10 points to 4 in favour of Parramatta. Is the tap to be taken down on the Parramatta quarter? Another try for Illawarra would really bring us into a cliffhanger of a situation. We had plenty of excitement last Wednesday. We could be in for the same tonight. Crossland playing the ball 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Runners going every which way. Eventually Hardy comes up with it. Price around the legs. They haven't been asked to make many tackles, but gee, he's made plenty. Across from Kelly, taken by Brown. Brown gets it back to Kelly. Kelly stands and pops it out the back. Mackie runs with the ball, looks to try and get another runner, but can't. 10 metres from the Parramatta line. Pressure for the Eels. Oh, Michael Bolt through the big dummy. Kelly came through. It's a try! Did he drop the ball or not? No, it's a try. Hold it. No, he's ruled that he lost it. Well, the referee was about to give the try, there's no doubt. And he did what a good ref should do. He took a look at his touch judges. Sterling, Jerd, Sterling. Bugden. 15 out from the line. To the blind side for Sterling again. That's Price. 11 metres out from the line. Wide to the left now. Jerd. Armstrong, Tony Armstrong, former Shark, getting ready to come on. So is Graham Setri for Parramatta, as Mears goes to within a couple of metres. Setri in the headgear. Across, oh, Sterling was going to do wonders with that in his own mind, but he forgot the vital ingredient of catching the thing first. That's Peter Smith, hit by Kenny, got it to Worthington, onto upfield. Now it's gone across to Michael Bolt. Don't very often see a hooker playing on the wing, but that's where we found Michael Bolt. He's lost it. It'll be a scrum just inside the 22 line. Here's the ball being coughed up by the Steelers. So the scrum, gee, I know what I'd like to do with that trumpet. I don't think this is the place to tell you where, though. I'd like to place it. Scrum won by the Eels. There's a gap around the side of the scrum base for Sterling. Oh, Kenny's overrun it again. They just haven't got their timing together, these two, tonight. They keep putting it down. This is Hardy. Bugden high, Jerd low. Armstrong. Mears around the legs. Sharp up the top. Peter Smith outside the 22. 10-6 Parramatta leads. Mackie. That's Michael Carberry. Yes! Mackie! They're going to draw level. No, he's running out of pace. He's run out of room. He's run out of pace. And an intercept taken by Laurie. Laurie comes back to the quarter-way line. Well, the Steelers had the crowd on their toes. I thought Mackie was home singing ragtime here, but those little legs, they wouldn't pump out a tune quickly enough. And then they still looked to hope, and along came Mark Laurie to save the day for the Eels. Mears is the dummy half. Jensen goes back in behind to play the ball. 20-metre run for Mears.
Mears has played very well since John Mooney put him onto the field, and I don't think you'll see him out of this Parramatta side for too long.
Price was about to give it to Setri. Pull back out of it. Mosley sweeps it to the right. Sterling with a field goal. Sterling with the drop goal takes them to 11-4. He's been in everything, as I said earlier tonight, Peter Sterling. They set this up nicely, Parramatta. I can see now why Price held back that pass to Setri. 11-4, Parramatta leading. So Setri. Mosley to the 22 line. Now what have they got cooked up? They've got a big forward out wide, Bugden. Here he comes.
Isn't he taking some stopping?
Former Rothmans medalist. Kenny's the dummy half. Sterling Sterling gets off the left foot, swerves off the right. He picks up Ray Price, and Price is a metre short of the line on 5. Setri's the dummy half. To Sterling. There's Brett Kenny. Out the back for Sterling. Long ball. They've got to score. Yes, Neil Hunt goes in to score for the Eels. Neil Hunt is the try scorer, taking Parramatta to a lead of 15 points to 4. It was the old combo of Kenny and Sterling. Sterling summed it up with that long ball to Atkins. He simply had to draw and commit, and it was Hunt who went in for the try. Here's the Foster's Lager replay.
This was simply a case of Parramatta being able to keep the ball alive. Firstly, it was Kenny who stood in a tackle, shifted the ball back to Sterling. Sterling realised it was on out wide. He fired the pass back onto Atkins. Atkins summed up the situation pretty well, got it onto his outside supports, and in they go for a try.
Neil Hunt will have the rather awesome task of converting his own try from a very wide angle. Hunt's kick, it's successful. So a good kick by Neil Hunt, converting his own try. And the Parramatta Eels are leading the Illawarra Steelers 17 to 4.